if I want to learn to get better and anticipate, I need to hear feedback and I need to hear from those around me.
Every time I need to learn. If they say good things or bad things, like, we're learning. But if we don't get any comments at all, not on here, but in life, it's great to reflect on stuff.
When you have an encounter with Jesus and you give your life to him and you choose to follow him, you realize how true the name of this title is. Every day truly is a bonus.
Well, guys, welcome back. Every day is a bonus. So glad you have joined us for this video podcast, audio podcast, however you're viewing or listening. It's Brent, it's Logan, it's Ken. Just three guys, different walks of life, living for Jesus, living for fun, for business. And it's awesome. It's awesome. So, Logan, you obviously have a Bones t-shirt on with a coffee company logo, if you're listening.
Where's
is that a
Bones
good coffee company you
I
love?
have not tried their coffee yet.
Perfect. Way to have their shirt on, buddy.
I won the shirt at an event. I got picked to be in a game. I won the game, and I got the shirt, and I've got a hat with their logo, and I got some of their coffee that I haven't tried yet.
Oh, this sounds, what a great promotion for their company.
Yeah.
I drink coffee every day, but I've never tried this. 8 years it's been sitting on my shelf. Oh, okay.
This
Well, good
could be
job.
the
When I get
best.
to the end of the current bag, I'll try theirs. It smells amazing. It's divine.
If you're a new listener or a viewer, Ken does often wear shirts and gives them away. He'll write on them. It's his wife's way of cleaning out the closet without him realizing it.
Yep.
Probably her idea at dinner one night. Hey, honey, why don't you give your clothes away on air?
Podcast is great. Can you get rid of some of the
Yeah,
shirts?
everything. So next month he's going to start giving away pants, shoes, undergarments. I don't know where he's going to go next, but Ken always ups it.
If you're listening, you're not going to get this, but picture Logan and Brent sitting very casual with their legs crossed. One's on my left, one's on my right. I have no idea to do it with my legs. I'm like, so I'm just going to
hover legs.
There we go. Hover legs.
Hover legs.
Hold your leg up.
Could you? I'll put mine on top because they're tired. How long can Logan hold up all of our legs? Well, welcome.
Okay, now you got to go to YouTube and at least watch that one portion.
Now it's awkward. It is interesting how we sit in our legs in different ways.
Yeah.
I've got stretchy pants on right now.
Nice.
Different than you guys wearing jeans right now.
I know.
I've got stretchy jeans because they're ripping.
Whoa, stretchy ripped jeans. Or they're not stretchy. Well, that's good. That's good. It feels like clothes always keep getting better or advancing so much, right? Back in the day, it was, when I was a kid, it was rayon to church. You wore rayon shirts. And
Rayon? I don't know what that is.
Like a material, like if you have
Before he was born.
Yeah, before he was born. Like if you have a tri-blend type of shirt, normally it's like polyester and cotton. That third little thing they're adding in a lot of times is this rayon or something to where it's going to have a bit of a stretch to it. A lot of the jeans are going to start having that elasticity. But they're always trying to up. It's like everybody has jeans. How can we make them better? Stretchier jeans to breathe with our bellies as we eat dinner and as we change our shapes. They can grow with us. So it's always neat the way things are getting better. I'm blown away the fact of the amount of families that come to church and they're gone on Sundays because their kids are travel ball, travel this, the sports world and all that. And I'm like, guys, like I can't imagine taking my kindergartner on like a 4-week tour of travel ball playing daily. And it's like, so they'll make it into the MLB and it's like, is that going to happen? I don't know. What's the percentage of people that probably make it into the MLB have to be like 0.00001%, that make it through everything, if that. But it reminds me that we try our best to get better at everything all the time. And now we project it on our kids. So be a little careful, parents watching out there. Your kid, just let them enjoy being kids. They're either going to have it or not, right? I mean, you can train and you can try to get better. Jagger played lacrosse, and the more he did do wall ball, the coach wanted them to get faster with their sticks. And I get it. He got better and better and better. Yeah. But I don't know that starting in preschool and doing it for your entire life till you burn out is really going to always be the best. But I was never a sports guy because we had a daughter at first. And I was always the guy that's like, play all the sports and win all the points. I didn't know a lot of details. And so when people are doing March Madness and fantasy football, I'm always like, I will play, but I have no clue what I'm doing, right?
So you probably won.
I did actually win our Westridge Church League one year, which did not make people happy. But then all of a sudden I have Jagger, Kirsten and I have Jagger, and sports come into the world. And so he's enjoying sports. He's watching golf and football and baseball, every single sport you can think of. And he chose lacrosse, obviously. He tried all the different ones. But then I quickly became a follower of watching sports. I enjoy football a lot now. But you guys, in the sports world, tell me how it was with your kids, with you guys. What kind of environment did you grow up in? What kind of environment did you shepherd onto your kids? Ken, what do you think?
Well, mine was definitely, I just loved to play.
Okay.
And I did come back, we had to dodge the dinosaurs to get to the court or the field, but we really did. We'd play after school and we'd just make it up and we'd have fun, and there wasn't travel ball.
Not an organized sport. You
were
saying you were just playing.
Now we played organized little league, organized basketball, but when we were home, we just played and we played that sport. And, two of us could play baseball. One's a pitcher, one's a hitter. And we had imaginary men running bases and just create it. So we were definitely fun, but I loved sports, but I love getting into it. What was your sports upbringing like? Golf. Really?
My great grandfather made me my first golf club at 3 years old.
Wow. Okay.
It was a 3-iron for a 3-year-old, and golfers know that is a hard club to hit.
Difficult.
I learned
very
with a
flat,
3-iron.
Right? Goes very straight and low.
Yes. And at 4 years old, I started playing in one-hole tournaments in the summer, and I loved it. Yep.
A
one-hole tournament
takes about 4 minutes to play the whole entire tournament.
I didn't enjoy it, so they moved me up early to the 3-holers.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I was a 3-holer at a young age in the golf tournaments. And so grew up playing golf and played high school golf, all that good stuff.
But you know what's great about golf?
You can play forever.
When your kids are growing up and they're older or grandparent or whatever it is, you're probably not going to go out and play baseball, the two of you, or you're not going to go play lacrosse or whatever. But golf is that sport. It doesn't matter how you get out in a cart, drive around for the day, enjoy the weather, hit some balls straight, or hook or slice, whatever it is, but you're still playing together, right?
Yeah.
That's great. That's a fun sport to do that with.
Oh, it's so fun. And I did some of the Georgia Junior PGA and the Southeast Junior Golf Tour and the traveling and all that stuff in high school. And I was one of the ones that burned out. I totally burned out.
Yeah.
And I heard this great stat talking about just kids playing way too much sports and being overexposed to their sport or specialized too much in one sport instead of being a multi-sport athlete. Yeah, try everything. 71% of Hall of Fame pitchers were late bloomers. They didn't grow up pitching. They didn't do all the little league, all the travel ball, all the crazy.
Because you either have it or you don't, right? Is that kind of what they were doing?
And they didn't blow their arms out as a kid.
Good point.
Yeah.
We saw a number of kids starting to play football when they were in the Pee Wee leagues and all throughout elementary. And they were big and they were having fun and all that. But then, they'd get to 9th grade, 10th grade, and they're like, no way, I've been playing this for so long. I'm ready to just be a student.
So, right.
Yeah. So
I did a corporate event one time, met a guy who was on the United States, I think it was the 17 under hockey team.
Okay.
And they won an international event. They were just incredible. And I said, that's amazing. And I said, where are they now? And he said, every guy on that team was either got a Division I scholarship or got drafted in the NHL. Except for one guy. Okay. And I was like, oh man, that poor guy. Was he just like the bench warmer? He said, no, he's the best player on the team. And I'm like, what? He said he had NHL teams. He had colleges just throwing things at him. 17. He's like, we won that one tournament. He's like, I'm done.
Wow.
I'm tired of hockey.
Yeah.
And he burned out.
Yeah.
And I think that's the perspective a lot of times of sports. How do we enjoy it? And that's what I love about your approach to what you do is, we're going to do this. We're going to have fun doing it. Right. And growing up, me playing with my friends, we could play imaginary. We were the professionals and we're playing and just having fun with it. Yeah. And at the same time, what do you learn from sports? And I, as you're talking about sports, I'm just thinking about a buddy of mine who's a college basketball coach. He was an assistant D1 and he wanted to coach, a head coach.
Okay.
So to get a head coaching job, believe it or not, you have to take a really crappy situation. And so he took a Division III program that had won like 2 games. And he's like, all right. So he went and he implements and he meets with the players the first time. They'd won 2 games the year before. And he goes, okay, Coach Roy, and I just want you to know we will not lose another game. And he said he looked at players and they're like, yeah, we're going to lose another game. And he goes, no, here's the deal. We're going to win or we're going to learn every game. And he said that became the culture. And he says after a game, he said, okay, don't worry about the scoreboard. What did we do well?
Okay.
What do we need to get better at? And he said, I would make every player answer that. And they had to write it down in journal and say, okay. And he says, I would spend time with them, develop a relationship with them to let them know, I know who you are. How do you want to get better? He says, and that's what we practiced. Yeah. And the first season, they almost went 500. So they won way more games than ever. The second season, they made the national tournament. Wow. They went like 22-2.
That is incredible.
And it's crazy. Like, wow. So he gets another job at another school with another crappy situation. Same thing. They go from 4 and 18 to above 500. In the second year, they go to the national tournament. And he just had this turnaround philosophy of, okay, wins and losses, okay, but I want you to be as good as you want to be. Mm-hmm. I want you to know I care about you no matter what happens, and I want you to learn. Oh, and man, when sports can do that, it's
man. And when a coach can make all of that difference in the world, I'll watch. There's so many coaches now, elementary, middle, high school. You know, not into college. I guess there's probably some that way too. I don't get to see that as often, but some of these coaches are so bent on winning. They're yelling at the kids. They're pushing them. They're really just digging it in. And it's like, man, the inspiration, if you want to get into their brain, if you could just inspire them, if you could just lift up, it's not a loss. It's a, what are we going to learn? I love that. And it's like, when you win, it's like, let's be humble about that. But if we can teach our men and our women to be like young men that are passionate about what they do, yes, but like, we want to raise them to be young men and young women. Character and who they are. And it's like, if it's only about the sport only, you've lost a huge opportunity. I mean, I know my kids have had coaches in the dancing world and in the lacrosse world that they could be all about win it or that's it. That's all there is to it. And it's like, man, you've missed an opportunity to have a kid in the palm of your hands and be like, how can we help turn you into a better individual,
human,
a person, a human, to live life humbly. But you know, when you're losing, you live life with a constant state of, what do we learn? Let's inspire these kids. Let's not just, how can you be better at your sport? Let's inspire them just to be better at life and encourage. And it's like those kids want to play for a coach like that. Oh,
heck yes.
And they want to get away from the other coach that's pushing them down, always calling them out, always pointing fingers at what they did wrong. I mean, sure, are both of them coaching? Yes. You're pointing at what they're doing. Now all of a sudden they're just like, oh, I don't want to listen to him anymore.
Oh, they'll tune you out.
This guy that's inspiring is like,
and burn them out.
We're playing for our coach. We're playing for our team. And now there's something so much deeper than just, did you make the wrong decision or the right decision? You're like, I'm making a decision that's affecting everybody, that it's also going to affect how I approach college now and people. And you're always going to have people you work around or you're around that aren't your favorite, right? So when you have a bad teacher or a bad, you got to learn from it though.
Right.
Instead of just saying,
move forward.
I don't like this teacher, I want to move on, or I don't like this guy or this personality or this coworker. And it's like, no, what can we learn from that situation? I love that approach.
And you can be right with what you're saying, but you can be wrong because of how you're saying it.
Ooh.
You can be totally right, but you are wrong with how you're delivering that message.
That's a good point.
There's this study that a doctor did. Her name is Dr. Elizabeth Herlock, and she brought together a bunch of students whose math proficiency was the exact same. Exact same. And she broke them into 3 groups that they were not aware of. But she, of course, was aware of them. She gives them a test. It didn't matter how they scored on the test. This group, all positive feedback. This group, all negative feedback. This group, she ignored completely. Okay. And the next day brings them back in, same thing. Next day bring them back in, over and over and over. They do this.
So different tests, but just the feedback is different.
They're all taking the same test.
Okay.
They're all in the same room,
just getting negative,
taking the same test, but this
ignored.
group gets positive feedback. This group gets negative feedback. This group gets ignored every single day.
I can't wait to see this.
Immediately, the ignored group barely improves at all over the course of the test. It's just like, we're not even here. Who cares? The group that had the positive feedback, huge jump. The group that got the negative feedback, huge jump. We want that positive feedback. But then as they continued and they felt, I know I did better as their scores went up. I know I did better. I'm still getting negative feedback. Eventually they start to go backwards.
Wow.
As they quit. And the group that got the positive feedback continued to rise.
Yeah, that's so powerful. It's like we were talking earlier off air at one point on how, all the words can be the same, but it's the portrayal of how you say them that could change things. It's the attitude, it's the personality type. And when you're lifting, remember, I'm not saying everybody gets a trophy approach. I'm saying when you're coaching, when you're leading your family, your kids, keeping it on that uptick of that positivity is not wimping out of what you're trying to teach them. There's always disciplinary actions as a parent, and there's always how can we get better as a coach? Or
what did we learn from this loss to the coach? Going back to your example,
right?
That's such a good example that somebody over here is reprimanding somebody, and somebody over here is like, man, I saw what you did, but how could you have done it different? And now they're learning from this opportunity and not just feeling squelched and pressed down and defeated. That's huge.
So my buddy Roy, who's the coach, he invited me to a game. I go watch him, and I was a little bit surprised because in the game, he coaches very hard, and it comes across as almost negative. And then I watched him in practice, and he says, here's the deal. I have earned the right to coach them hard. And I was like, okay, what do you mean by that? We know your resume. He goes, no. He said, I spend one-on-one time with every one of those players every week. And we don't talk anything about the sport. How is your life? How is your classes? How are your relationships? He says, they know I love them.
Yes.
Then we agree. Yes. We agree on what they say they want to get better at. So now they've invited me to coach them up. And I'm like, wow. But if all you see is that negative, like you say, there's an immediate jump, and it's like, I'm never going to
get positive. I want that. I'm going to prove myself, and I'm still not getting it.
Yeah, right. It. But I mean, how cool I don't know. I love that overall, but how do we get better? Another one that I'd heard, I'm at a men's event in Cincinnati. There's a guy in Navy khakis standing there, and I just go, hey, thanks for your service before the event. And he goes, thanks. And I said, so what? He says, I'm so glad to be back. It's been a year and a half since I've been here. I'm like, wow, well, where have you been? 27 countries on 3 different continents. I'm like, what do you do? And he says this long title.
It's like a comedian schedule. It's so crazy how that is.
So there's a guy standing right next to me stirring coffee, and this Navy guy goes, he could tell I didn't understand the title. And he goes, well, you would know it as SEAL Team 6. And my whole countenance was like, oh, my word. Whoa. The guy next to me stirring his coffee, and he just, and we both looked because he just went, oh. And we both looked, and he goes, so you could kill everybody in this room with this plastic spoon? And I loved his answer. He goes, oh, man, no, I wouldn't need a spoon.
That's awesome.
And I'm just like,
he's got Jason Bourne, those guys.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
But then I got to not just talk to him, but I met a couple other SEALs in this one piece of getting better and learning to anticipate the ability to get better on a sports field or in life. I talked to these Navy SEALs, and they're like, one thing we do after a mission, the very first thing, you get medical attention. After the medical attention, we immediately go in and we debrief everything we just did. What did we do right? What did we do wrong? And what do we need to change? And we debrief the whole thing. And everybody is on an even field. everybody can call anybody else out. Hey, why did you do this? That wasn't protocol. Why did you leave me here? And they just get to hash it out.
Wow. Okay.
And it's that building up. That's like, hey, we're together. We're in this, and they're literally life and death together. So it's just so impressive to me that if I want to learn to get better and anticipate, I need to hear feedback and I need to hear from those around me. And just to kind of draw it full circle, we love hearing comments from people that are listening and watching because it not only makes us better, but it makes this experience better and builds
good comments and bad comments, depending on what they are. Because we do like to try to get better in all areas.
I'm glad we're like the SEAL Team 6, actually. We debrief every episode when we get done. We break it all down.
Someone bring me a spoon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm using it as a sword.
I'll give you one of my favorite comments. And then I went back and watched it because we have so much fun doing this. Right. And somebody said, hey, I love it. But there was one who listens but doesn't watch. Okay. And they said,
mistake number 1.
Yes.
Just kidding.
You guys.
We like the watchers.
She said, sometimes you guys are having so much fun. I can't understand because you're all talking on top of each other.
Agreed.
And I was like, and I watched the next one. I'm like, ooh, we did that. So we talked about that.
We did talk about it. And we try not to, but sometimes we get so excited. And then we talk about just kidding.
So we do work on that. Have you had any comments that you liked or hated?
Like a low-hanging fruit.
Oh, it was right there.
You have to do it.
Actually, similar. Stop interrupting each other was the comment, the negative feedback I got. And I said, okay, 10-4.
Interrupting.
Isn't that exactly the same?
Yeah. I said it was the same.
This one's very similar, but it's exactly what you just said.
Did I say similar?
It's the same comment. It's from the same person on the same platform. Great job, Logan. The obvious. The last comment I read was, it just said, Captain Pickles. I don't know if that's helpful. It was it had an exclamation point or whatever. Oh, okay. That was Colin said that. Never mind. I liked Colin's response. I don't know if that was helpful, but Captain Pickles. He is my dog.
I got another. I'll give you a different one now.
Okay.
Truly different.
Okay.
Guy that I ran into. Listen to your podcast. I love it. I said, wow, great. Thank you. That's amazing. He even said, I've got a penny, a nickel, and a quarter. You're good. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to insert episode number here. For the ones watching. 9, I don't know. Okay. Anyways, he said, I have one issue with it though. And I was like, okay, I'm ready. We're in person too. So I got to handle this well. He said, it's not long enough. My commute's a little over an hour to work. And I would really like to have an hour with y'all in the car at least once a week. And I said, that is awesome. 25 minutes is about all we got though, bud.
Yeah. Tell him just to listen to 2 at a time, right?
He's all caught up. He's listening to it all.
Okay.
No, I loved it. I loved that feedback.
That is fun. That's good. That means they're enjoying it. Well, hopefully you guys are enjoying. Leave comments below because we love reading those.
We love them.
Or above.
We love the feedback. My wife, greatest critic ever. I love listening to what my wife has to say. And so if my wife can say that she's enjoying it, I love that because our wives should be able to be the ones that are the most truthful to us, honest.
Oh yeah.
Give me your real feedback and things. And so when she came and said, I like just feeling like I'm in the room with you guys, just kind of hanging out. I was like, that's what we're going for. That's what we're going for. And for me, for all of us, as I'm a pastor and here's a comedian that follows Jesus and a business guy that publicly speaks and follows Jesus. Another comment that I got face to face from someone was, I love how we don't apologize for our faith. It's there. It's not the only thing. It's not like, come and listen to our Bible podcast, but we can't help but talk about it because that's who we are. It's ingrained. It spills out. The love of Jesus spills out of us. And so hopefully as you guys are watching, you're going to realize there's some great pieces, takeaways, and sometimes there's something unplanned. A lot of these are unplanned and it spills out of us and you're like, wow, I'm going to grab hold of that. That wasn't even what the episode was meant for.
Yeah.
But I'm going to grab hold of that. And so that's encouraging.
Yeah.
But also like, it feels like the weight. It's like, all right, so we need to make sure there's people listening that are applying the things we're saying. And it's like, it's a lot of pressure right there sometimes. It's like, ooh, hopefully let's get it right. Let's pray about it beforehand, which we do. We pray before we get started. And but it's a lot of pressure. But even today, as we're getting ready to finish up this episode, you said something that, man, I just was like, you're right. It's not just about coaches, training up, not missing an opportunity to train up young men and young women to be amazing people. And it's not about if you're in a game, if you've earned the right. I thought that was great, but I took away something that's like, every time I need to learn. If they say good things or bad things, like, we're learning. But if we don't get any comments at all, not on here, but in life, it's great to reflect on stuff and be like, yeah. How's my walk with Jesus doing personally? How am I doing helping my wife around the house? Almost like, how am I doing helping her around the house or loving on the kids? It's always good to reflect and to try to get better. Like you said, we started out the whole thing like, let's just get better at the things we do.
Self-scout yourself.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Yeah.
How am I doing?
Reflect.
Where are my strengths? Where are my weaknesses?
And if you need good advice on that, ask your spouse, right? How am I doing on being a spouse, right? Because they'll give you feedback. Hopefully they can. Hopefully you're in a relationship where
don't just walk in the door and hit them with that.
Good point.
Choose your timing well there.
Yeah. Honey, I'm exhausted. How am I as a spouse? Let's
you
be
suck.
Like, meal smells good. I'm here to help you, whatever it is. So that's good. I learn things myself. So my feedback,
that's what I love.
I learn things every time we all sit down, and usually after an episode, we go have lunch. We talk even more about stuff, and it has nothing to do with what we're doing here. We just enjoy being around company. So it reminds me of, if you want to get feedback from people that love you, surround yourself with people that you want to receive that feedback from.
Ooh,
it could be family, could be friends, could be whoever, because that's how we grow. We love to grow in that. So what's a takeaway from you guys from listening to something that somebody writing, listening, exercising, they can say, all right, I'm going to apply it today. Anything?
I totally took my takeaway from when some of the feedback that you got that we're unapologetic about our faith. But this isn't a let's open God's word and only be in that type of podcast. We're talking about life. And that's such a big reason why this show is called Every Day's a Bonus.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about sitting here and reflecting joyfully that when you have an encounter with Jesus and you give your life to him and you choose to follow him, you realize how true the name of this title is. Every day truly is a bonus.
Truly. One day we are in heaven with him forever. But while we're here, he's by our side through everything.
Why let my ego get in the way of me getting better at the different things that I'm involved with in my life? Be open to feedback, the positive and the negative, and learn and apply it. And there's always room to grow.
And God has given you opportunities out there. Use those for him. And to better and help somebody else.
100%.
Just forgetting. A journal. You said something about journaling earlier, and I was like, yeah, that's right. My wife does a great job journaling things that's happening in life. A lot of times they turn into prayers. But you get to go look back and reflect and be like, whoa, that was a tough time we were going through. And it's like, but look how he saw us through it. Or that was tough, but look what we learned through that. So what's your takeaway, Ken?
Mine is, it's similar, but not exact.
/ the exact same thing. It's going to be the same.
I think it comes from that process of the coach. And that is when you know somebody loves you and they want the best for you, you can take that. And that, to me, faith, everybody has faith in something. But
so
mine is in the one who created me, that loves me and says, okay, he in my time with him, whether it's reading the Bible or being around friends, will point out areas. Here's where I want you to get better because it's going to give you a more abundant and full life. Everything he says is for my good. And so that's my takeaway, is that just make sure I'm trusting the right person and the right people. And that I've got those people in my life who are going to have the freedom to go, hey, I'm seeing something here, or way to go on that. And just that. That's mine.
That's good. And then I'll finish up with this one. We can always be saying the right information, but sometimes it's the way you say that information that can impact the situation you're in. So
way too convicting. Let's move on.
Let's point fingers at each other now. No, we would never do that. We're not pointing fingers at you. If you're watching right now, I actually am pointing fingers at you, but that's just because we love you. We love you. We're glad
at you.
We're glad you guys are out there listening, watching, and thanks for being a part of our family. Hey, share this with somebody. Maybe somebody needs it. Maybe they don't. It doesn't matter. I mean, share it out there. You never know what somebody is going to glean from having a conversation with some folks in a room just like this. And we're not promised tomorrow, but boy, are we blessed when we get it, because every day's a bonus. See you next time.
Oh, we hit it that
Peace.
Bye-bye.